Hello everyone, this is UK Wolfman for WatchFreaks.com. I would like to take a moment to present a new dive style watch from Szanto watches. This is a model from the 5100 series. To be more specific, the 5104 gray dial. It's going to retail for right around $325 USD. And I wanted to start off by showing what it looks like on a 7 3/4 inch wrist. A lot of wrist presence, 46mm case. You can see how the lugs curve and mold to the wrist very nicely. Very nice overall look. I did want to show the strap, and I'll come back to this later in the review. A couple extra holes on my 7 3/4 inch wrist, and I'll discuss why that's significant later. But let's get into the watch itself. We have, again, a 46mm case, but the case design is a little bit unique compared to a lot of dive watches, dive style watches that you see on the market. Just a lot of nice angular shape edges and so forth. The lugs are not just smooth and so forth, like you see in a lot of dive watches. A lot of machining to this case. It is a 500-meter water-resistant piece. The crown is screw down, buttery smooth, as you can see. No play wiggle in the crown system at all. Nice sign crown. Now, one of the first features that I think makes this more of a dive style watch than a true functional diver is the bezel. The past dive style watch that was released by Szanto didn't have a loom pip. This one does have a loom pip, which makes it more functional, but because of the bezel makeup and the spring, it's very loose. As you can see, so there's a lot of play in the bezel. So I'm not quite sure if I was going on a time dive, if I would trust this to stay in place without jarring or knocking out of place easily. So something to be concerned about. I've been informed by Szanto that this particular issue is being addressed and will be fixed for future productions. So at least they're already aware of that particular situation. And like I said, if I didn't say previously, it's a 90 click, I think, rather than a 60 or a 120. So, and I believe that is also part of the upcoming upgrade. Now, as I mentioned, $325 USD. A lot of detail in this watch at that price point, rather than a standard bezel insert that you see on a lot of watches where the markers are painted on or so forth. It's machined, and the markers and numerals are raised, and that's just really a cool feature. The dial is below a mineral crystal. Another upgrade that I hope to see from Szanto sometime in the future would be a sapphire. But the mineral crystal is going to be impact resistant and so forth. Not a lot of glare. You can see the dial really nice and clear. I think the dial color is more of a putty or a clay rather than a gray. A little bit more brown in the dial than gray. But another added detail, if you'll look closely, are applied markers. Now, I don't know if applied markers really cost more than painted on markers, but I just think that level of detail at that price point is just, it just seems more expensive and nicer. The markers are green Superluminova, and I believe we got C1 Superluminova at the pip. Glows very brightly. You'll see that in the written review over on WatchFreaks.com. So definitely go over and check that out. Very legible date window. Again, very limited branding, very clean, uncluttered dial. As you can see, It is a quartz, as the second hand ticks around the dial. I believe it is a Miyota 2415. If I'm incorrect on that, I will have that clarified in the written review. Movement is for quartz is precise, just like you would expect. We've got a screwed down case back, as you would expect for a 500 meter dive style watch. Really nice leather strap. It is a water resistant leather strap. So I think with the bezel issue, but with it being 500 meters water resistant and a water resistant leather strap, this is going to be great for snorkeling. It's going to be great for swimming and other sporting activities where you might sweat a little bit. I don't think you're going to have to worry about messing this strap up or this watch with those activities. Now, as I showed earlier, the strap, I think, even makes it fall more into the dive style arena than a true functional diver, because I don't think you're going to be able to get it on over a wetsuit. So if you want to throw an isofrene, or I believe a later production of this watch will have a bracelet, and I'm hoping that they'll have a dive extension on that bracelet. And with the corrections in the bezel, that will make the model more functional. Really nice heavy-duty buckle, signed with the Szanto name. Fixed keeper and a floating keeper. I think it's always important for any strap to have two keepers. Looks real nice. Great stitch work. Very comfortable on the wrist. 46 millimeters. It's not overly cumbersome as far as size and so forth. I'll have lug-to-lug measurements and weight and so forth like that in the written review on watchfreaks.com. There'll be a link at the bottom of this video presentation. So after you're done viewing, just click on that, go on over, check out the written review. I would like to thank Szanto Watches for providing the 5104 dive watch for review. I would like to thank each one of you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video presentation on Watch Freaks.